This week from Jack-O-Lantern Comics, Rex and the Machine, issue number 1, written by Marlon Jordan, art by Jordan LM. That's right, it's another indie comic review. Rex and the Machine is the debut release from Jack-O-Lantern Comics, and what an electric, artistically fulfilling, and emotionally driven debut this is. I just happened to get this comic recommended to me on Kickstarter, and boy do those targeted ads work. I feel like many indie comic publishers play it safe these days with self-contained one-shot releases, which is, of course, a totally legitimate thing to do, and I'm not bashing the concept. However, I can't help but feel more excited personally by the bold promise of an enriching, carefully developed ongoing narrative that I can become invested in. I mean, that is one of the most addicting, unique aspects of supporting indie comics. That feeling of being early to the party for something truly great, which is certainly the case for Rex and the Machine. The first issue is chock full of unique, specific, artistic, and narrative choices that reveals the passionate planning and approach of these emerging creators. I mean, first of all, it's in magazine format, which, if you've been watching this channel for some time, you know that I love this format. It just feels that much more immersive in terms of physical media, drawing you into the page because it's taking up your full field of view. And this baby has a full supplemental art gallery of sketches, character designs, landscapes, and alternative covers to boot. The story of Rex and the Machine follows a lone man, Rex, who journeys across a post-apocalyptic wasteland with a clandestine mission and a strange, mysterious mechanical box in tow. While the whole concept of the lone man in the waste may not be a new one, it is still so rewarding to see such a classic premise executed so beautifully. Additionally, I have to specifically commend the first few pages of this issue, which are all bathed in beautiful black and white artwork, harkening back to the golden age of film in a way with this bleak, rain-soaked introduction to the world of this story, which really helped to hook me early on as a reader. Marlon said it best himself in the Kickstarter for this first issue, but I will reiterate it here for you now. If you've ever considered yourself a fan of Trigun, Mad Max, Hellboy, Fallout, then you will definitely become a fast fan of Rex and the Machine. Let's delve more into the first issue now, which means spoilers ahead. We begin with a stark flashback to a time before, as we see a group of disheveled citizens, perhaps mercenary soldiers, rounded up by soldiers in long black coats and hats in the rain as they are loaded into trucks. Suddenly, one of the soldiers calls out, "This one is defective," referring to a bound man. And the black-coated soldiers descend upon him gleefully, presumably to cut open his skull? However, before they can do so, a man smoking nearby pulls out his revolver and mercifully shoots the bound man in the head. We then cut to months later as our cool, wide-brimmed, hat-wearing, cigar-smoking hero, Rex, enters a derelict city in the wastes called Dockland with a strange lunch pail-sized box. As he enters a nearby bar, he takes note of several artificially enhanced humans inside, eerily quiet. Though it is not overtly stated, there are a few clues in these opening scenes as to who Rex is, potentially. And I like that the narrative is understated because it feels like the more you get into this series and it develops, the more you'll look back at these first issues and be like, oh, I didn't notice something. But with the cloaked soldier's use of the word defective, as well as Rex's entrance into the derelict city, literally sliding down a pole of a building, I would conjecture that maybe Rex is an android himself, though a little bit more autonomous than is traditionally depicted. Additionally, we learn from the existence of the bar and the bartender's description of the world that the world is not entirely uninhabited, so not entirely apocalyptic. As he makes mention that the citizens of Dockland have been plagued recently by a magic kid, presumably someone that Rex is looking for. Finally, the bartender makes mention to the other patrons of the bar having military sensors, which implies to me that this is a kind of totalitarian world where the escalation of conflict has necessitated the advancement of technology to some absurd degree. Rex leaves the bar without disclosing the nature of the strange box he is carrying, much to the chagrin of the bartender. However, as soon as Rex leaves the bar, he is confronted by a hulking figure intent on obtaining the previously innocuous box. Rex makes short work of this behemoth and ventures further into the wasteland where he spots two figures racing away through the desert sands, musing to himself that they are not his problem. We get another visual expansion and clue about the world here as we see this pair of survivors pursued by a horde of reptilian mutated beasts. Just when it seems like the survivors are done for, 3 perfectly placed shots fell the beast, and Rex turns to walk away from the survivors only for them to follow him. After one of the survivors, Meredith, helps Rex hotwire a car, the trio are finally able to begin trusting one another. Finally, as the other Wastelander fiddles with Rex's strange box, the true nature of the mechanism is revealed. The appearance of a hologram of a woman in an executioner's mask of sort and a strange cybernetic crown. Rex reveals that this woman is alive, seemingly a sentient AI that Rex is delivering to an undisclosed location. Coincidentally, Rex's new friends inform him that they have been working on a kind of projector that would be perhaps a quality of life improvement for this AI, which Rex agrees to before a sudden explosion sends the car careening off the road. As is the case for a lot of my indie comic reviews, I do not want to spoil the ending. I would like you to support this comic and get this in your hands yourself. I can say that it is a genuinely shocking twist finale that leaves you wanting to discover more of this series, which is only possible through your support of this small independent publisher. Please support Rex and the Machine and Jack-O-Lantern Comics by checking out and sharing their socials on Instagram and TikTok, as well as checking out their YouTube channel, The Jordan Brothers, which is a really creative animated shorts channel. And as always, keep spreading the word and letting me know about new independent comics that I should review. I want to give a special thank you to Marlon Jordan and Jack-O-Lantern Comics for letting me review this book, and for sending me all this amazing bonus artwork. This is our assassin character that appears later in the issue. This is amazing. I'm going to hang this on my wall, and I love all this bonus artwork that came with the Kickstarter issue. I mean, the issue itself is just so gorgeous. I mean, this is something I want to display. Yeah, I'm just really touched by the additional artwork there, and like I said, I'm a fan of this series now. You've hooked me. I cannot wait for issue number 2. I will be there, day 1. Here's that first page that I was glowing over. I mean, this feels so reminiscent of 90s manga as well as 90s superhero comics. Love the shading on the cloak and the face. Such an iconic image, and I love the sparse use of color here, the light blue and gray. And again, here there's a very intentional use of color. It's very sparse. It's creating a certain tone. Love that this one page sums up the entire theme or heart of the issue. I love our subtle key into Rex and her relationship here, their bickering banter. It's so much fun. God, I can't get over how badass this is.